Pod. Pod. Quad. Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. Week 1 of the NFL is officially over with. We got to see what all of these teams have been preparing over this offseason and kind of
I was very
gather up
happy.
everything.
Very
But
happy Sunday, man.
a lot of great games. Like, I feel like week 1 started out with a bang, with a dope game, and then the final game on Monday night was just as thrilling. You know, it was just for a
Exactly.
different reason as well. There's a lot of crazy things that happen. So, of course, we're going to talk about week 1 here, talk about our predictions for week 2 coming up. Any NFL news other than like pertaining to the week 1, week 2 matchups that's still out there. And, of course, we're going to have a little bit of NBA news, not too much. And then, of course, the bias bubble and crazy sports stat fact on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, we're just going to hop right into it. Week 1, the first game was the Thursday night game from Buccaneers, Tampa Bay, against the
Tampa Bay.
Cowboys.
Both quarterbacks did a hell of a job that night, though. Dak
Absolutely.
Prescott looked great. 58 passes, that's a lot for a quarterback with a shoulder injury, apparently. You know what I mean? And
And coming back off of a season-ending ankle injury, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly. So I think the Cowboys' future is bright as long as they can shore that defense up, man. It's the same problems with them every year.
No,
But
man.
both of us picked the Buccaneers on that one.
Yeah, and I mean, Tom, I think had an interception. I think the Buccaneers had 3 turnovers,
Mhm.
like in general, because I think they had the fumble. The running back had the fumble. But yeah, they had
Tom
3
had
turnovers.
two interceptions for
interceptions.
Brady. Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, and just to be able to come back and win the game, you know, it's already been memed with, you know, Tom just chilling, like looking mean,
Just
like
staring
with a
at the
minute left
sideline.
on the clock, like you know what's gonna happen.
Everybody knew what was going to happen.
Everybody knew it was gonna happen. Cowboys, though, man, you're right. They looked great. They looked really
They
good.
did.
That defense, you know, it's looking like it's going to be like last year, like we were talking about
There's
before
some-
going into week 1.
Right. There's some more of the same out of Zeke, though, and it's disappointing, man. Like, he just
Yeah.
does not seem like the same back that he once was.
What's really being pointed out is like a lot of plays where he's kind of like trying to juke people. He would normally just run them over, just bulldoze them. But
And
now
now
he's just trying to be a
avoid.
little bit more intricate and avoid people. Where it's like, man, I don't know. It's just he's not having the impact like he was having before.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens going forward, but maybe he just got to get going there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what they're going to have to do. Because, I mean, I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to have Dak throw like 50 passes a game the whole season. That's not
I mean,
going to be able to happen.
They might try to get
might
close
try,
to that.
But I don't
but
know if you're going to be able to win games just doing that every game.
Exactly. Got to rely on that running game. You got Zeke back there, man. Come on.
Exactly. You got a premier back. Use him. But what's the first game you have here for the 1
It would
o'clock
be
game?
Philly and Falcons.
Okay, we'll talk about this early here.
Mhm.
Boy, my Philadelphia Eagles came out ripping and roaring. I
looked
am
great,
so hyped.
man.
They look great. I haven't seen a game like this out of the Eagles in years. Like a full game. Literally, the offense was great. Defense allowed no touchdowns. There's a lot to be desired. Like on the defense, they did let up a lot of rushing yards there in the beginning, and then the Falcons had to come. Like they were forcing them to pass pretty much to
Right,
come
because
back.
they had
the
to
rest of the
come
game.
back. Exactly.
But even on offense, like we were seeing plays that like Doug Peterson would never run. There was actual like schemes that are being used. You know, they're using actual like other wide receivers to block in certain situations, like the Devontae Smith touchdown.
Mhm.
Ertz just kind of swung in front of that like defender and let Devontae just swoop out around and get open in the end zone. But yeah, I mean, the Falcons, I think they looked good in the first couple drives. You know, that's where their momentum was whenever Matty Ice was able to get the ball out really quick. But whenever he was
Right.
actually forced to find something, it just wasn't happening. And I don't know, Matty Ice might be cooked. Maybe
He
they
might
made
be
the bad
done,
decision.
man. His QBR for that game was 17.6.
Yeah, and I mean,
Matt Ryan is not, just like we said with Zeke. It just does not seem like either maybe he needs a change of scenery or I don't know what, but it's his time in Atlanta is looking like it's coming to an
yeah,
end here
it's looking like they should have kept Julio, traded Ryan, and scooped the quarterback first round,
in
like
this
Mac
draft.
Jones or Justin Fields at that point.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, Calvin Ridley only had 51 yards. Um, I think Kyle Pitts, first game in the NFL, I think he had 7 targets, and I think he only had like 20 something yards, like not too much.
Yeah, he ended up with 31 with 4 receptions there. But I mean, like we were saying, it's first game of the year. There
Yeah,
was
it is
some
first
teams
game of
that
the
would
year.
bust out and they would do great, and they're like almost like fake tough guys. I'm definitely not saying that's what the Eagles are. I'm saying like there's situations like that where you
Oh
got
yeah,
the team busting out, and then by week 7 you're like, oh, and then you
true,
got the teams
true.
and players that are kind
Like the
of
Seahawks last year, they were rolling,
right. They were
or the
rolling.
Bears.
The Seahawks were 1,000% fake tough guys last year. We'll see
Yeah,
what they are this year, but
true.
that's how it ended up. But
Um,
yeah, good game by the
yeah, I
Eagles,
mean, I'll
man.
talk
3
more about
touchdowns for
that.
Hurts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll talk more little about that in the bias bubble, but yeah, Hurts
Gotcha.
looked great, man. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 27-35, 264 yards. Dude balled, man. He looked
Hmm.
like he wasn't a second year QB. Like he
Right.
looked like he's been doing this for a minute. Like he cool, calm, and collected, found a way to run out if he needed to, and that's exciting going forward.
It was impressive. Hopefully you can sustain that.
Exactly. The second game here, the Steelers and the Bills. Did
Hmm.
it turn out like a lot of people, including myself, thought? I think you picked the Steelers in this one, didn't you?
Yeah, both of us picked Buffalo in
Oh,
this
we
one.
did.
And
I thought you
just to
picked. I
twist
thought you
back,
picked
we
Pittsburgh.
did both pick Philly in the last one. So we're so far we're all good on this, but then we come to this game here where we both picked Buffalo and Pittsburgh proved us wrong. So congratulations to Pittsburgh. Ben didn't even have 200 yards, but
Yeah,
they ended up finding a way to grind that game out.
yeah, and the Steelers only blitzed once, which is crazy.
Mhm.
Like, and because they were putting pressure on Josh Allen.
See, the thing is, exactly what we said would happen happened to the other team. It was a close game, and then next thing you know, it was a double-digit lead by
Exactly.
Pittsburgh there. So we were wrong, but
We
it
were
happened.
wrong. We were so wrong. But the next one here, the Vikings and the Bills, man. What an exciting game. This went the distance and
Vikings and
more.
Bengals.
Oh, Vikings and Bengals. Sorry. I said
Yep, all,
Bills.
all good.
Vikings, Bengals. Yeah, this went to overtime. Uh,
Hmm.
and there was a couple fumbles in there. Joe Burrow, sad enough, we kind of called it. Dude was running for his life that whole game.
Uh-huh. And it just looked scary every time I saw him take a hit. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah,
But he ended up he got sacked 5 times. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
That's terrible. I didn't realize it was that many. I thought it was only a couple, but he ended up getting sacked 5 times. But I did pick Cincinnati to win that game.
Yeah, you did. I
So
picked the Vikings, and yeah, the Vikings were down bad. Like I wasn't expecting
mhm.
them to come back, but they were able to kind of pull a comeback, and then just they couldn't pull it off there in the end. They had a turnovers
Right,
there in overtime.
right. But it was still that was a great game for week 1 as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of great games, including the next one here, the 49ers and Lions. This one
Hmm.
was high scoring, 41-33. Man, the Lions, they had a chance. They were able
They
to get a
did.
turnover there. I mean, the 49ers needed a first down there at the end of the game, and they got it, and then they fumbled it as soon as he caught it. And oh my
Right.
gosh.
And it's like, oh my God, is this really happening? And they got the first onside kick, so it's like, holy shit. So
Yeah, it's all lining up for the Lions to win it and
I
everything.
threw a bet on the Lions, even though I picked the 49ers, threw a bet on the Lions just to see, just to see what would happen there. But ended up having the 49ers pull this game out. Jimmy Garoppolo over 300 yards. He had a great game. And the 49ers there, they got that running back, Elijah Mitchell, who had a breakout performance there,
Yeah.
104 yards and a touchdown. So
Trey Lance
especially
had a
with,
touchdown too. They brought
right,
him in. He had a
yeah,
touchdown.
exactly. But with Raheem Mostert being out for the season now, that's a great sign for them to have him in the backfield.
Yeah. And the Lions, man, I don't know. I feel like they definitely had a chance to win it. Time wasn't on their side. They didn't have the timeouts.
Mm,
But I could see them getting some wins this year. I don't think they look terrible. Their defense is what really you need to worry about.
right. As long as they can shore up that offense, man, Jared Goff looked great in there.
Yeah.
Or
But
deep,
yeah, I
you
think
know.
we both picked the 49ers in that one.
Yep. So
Right.
we got wins on that one there. This next one here.
Oh man, this next one surprised me and a
Mhm.
lot of people. The Cardinals mollywopped the Titans. I picked the Titans, you picked the Cardinals.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Titans just did not look good. Derrick Henry wasn't doing anything.
They
Ryan
did not,
Tannehill had
man.
some, I think he had some turnovers.
He ended up with 58 yards, which is like respectable, but it's not expected out of a Derrick Henry. You expect much more out of it.
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds had 863 on less carries on the other side there. So, but
Mm.
Derrick Henry, that's a player that I know will finish the season over 1,000
Oh
yards
yeah,
type.
for
So
sure.
this is
Uh,
just a little hiccup here. But Arizona, man, like I was saying, I have full faith in them this year. Kyler Murray's showing up. Why? Like he was the number one overall pick. So I'm
yeah.
I'm actually really excited for them Cardinals for
I
this
mean,
year.
D Hop did amazing. He had 83 yards with 2 touchdowns. Even Christian Kirk, man, he was out there with 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Which
They were
was
just
amazing,
balling.
man.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray himself ended up with 5 total touchdowns, 4 passing and 1 running.
Yeah, due to acting out like he was playing like Madden, like he was Mike Vick in
Mhm.
'04, whenever he was just running. Like there was one play, dude, where he was running around and then he just decided to go for it. But it lasted like 10 seconds. I was like, what is this dude doing? He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. He's gonna get hit. But I'm very happy with that result there. Nothing against Tennessee or anything. I just really have some faith in those Cardinals this year. So let's see where they're going.
Yeah. Seahawks and Colts. We both predicted the Seahawks on this one.
Yep.
Colts, they just couldn't get it going. Carson Wentz got sacked 4 times. He was hit 15 times during the game. The offensive line looked terrible. I've seen this story before. I've seen
Yeah.
this team before. I
Seen
know
exactly what's
I've
going
seen
on.
this exact team before right now. But he didn't look bad overall. He ended up with 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions, surprising.
No interceptions.
No interceptions. But Russ, man, he had 250 yards and 4 touchdowns.
4.
Four
Dude
touchdowns.
was slinging it, man. He accounted for every point they had there except for the extra kicks. So
Yeah, Chris Carson had 91 yards rushing. Tyler Lockett ended up with 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like,
right.
ball
Which
out here.
is crazy because DK's the premier wide receiver out there. Tyler Lockett's great. He's been around forever, but DK's the
Yeah.
premier. Yeah, Tyler
For
Lockett's
all
still
the
getting
attention
100
to
yards.
DK.
So that's nice. We'll see what they can do. But we were just talking about Seattle. Who
Yeah,
knows
that
what
looks
they'll
good for
be.
Seattle. Seattle's defense too that they've been working on. They were only
That's true.
able to hold them to 16 points. So
It's a
good
long
ups on
season,
them.
though.
Like you were saying, it's a long season. Who knows what they're going to look like in the next couple weeks.
Right.
Chargers and Washington. This one came down to it, man. Like Washington was leading most of this game. Unfortunately, Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt. I think it was like in the second quarter. I think it was. It's a hip injury. He's on IR. He's going to miss some significant time here.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's
probably
Taylor
gonna be gone.
Heineke's time,
Or
or Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Reunite with old Ron Rivera. I know RG3 posted on Twitter, said, "Come get me." Like RG3 said he would come back to Washington.
I thought he was still on the Ravens, to be completely honest with you, but I would like to see
with
him there
ESPN
too.
stuff right now.
Okay. But yeah, either Cam or even Heineke if you want. But I just don't really have too much faith in Heineke to carry a team for the entire year.
Yeah. I mean, Heineke ended up with 122 yards and a touchdown. Justin Herbert, he had 330 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Right. But he did his damn thing, man.
Yeah.
300 and some yards.
Allen had 100 yards. Like
on 9 receptions.
Chargers are a good team. Because they were able to come back, get in the game, and keep that lead from Washington. Washington's defense didn't look too great that game.
Which is even more to my point I'm about to make here. I don't really trust the Chargers because I feel like if that was Kansas City or Oakland that they would be playing, the score would be 20-46. You know what I mean? Like Oakland or Kansas City. So this is another team I want to see because it was Washington and you barely beat them. So
true.
Had to come from behind to win the game.
Which I think we both took the Chargers in that one as well.
Yes. Yep. We both took the Chargers in that one.
Yep. And in this next one, Panthers and Jets. Yep. The most exciting thing about that game was the cool Panther intro, like for the field that they posted online.
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
I didn't. I took a considerable amount of time on my phone trying to figure out if that was real, like if the people in the stands were seeing this, or
That's
if
what
it
I
was.
was trying to figure out.
I took a good amount of time trying to figure that out, and I found out it was just on the video,
Yeah,
subverted. But like I was like, it looked too real, So imagine every team gets something like that for a
that
little
would be
intro or
awesome,
something,
man.
Actually, it just popped up on my screen here because I'm on their page, that Panther intro. But it just like the way it hops out of the stadium, it's really
It is
freaky,
really
but
cool.
it
Like
was
even
really
whenever you
cool.
click on the game on ESPN, that's like the highlight on it. Like that's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yep,
Um,
yep, that's what I mean there.
oh yeah. But Zach Wilson, man, he had 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Sam Darnold only had
He's
279 yards and a touchdown.
Zach Wilson is going to have his welcome to the NFL moment next week, but we'll get to that. Okay,
McCaffrey ended up with 98 rushing and 89 receiving yards.
something we
He's
expect.
something we expected coming into the
So
season.
if he's back to being McCaff, it's great for the league. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, and Corey Davis, he ended up with 97 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Jets.
Hmm.
But Panthers were able to squeak out that win. Sam Darnold got revenge on his
He
old
did.
team.
He did, man. But hey, I'm happy for Sam Darnold just because I hate the Jets and he's out of there now, so I can kind of at least like
For him
support
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
This next one, man, was one that we weren't kind of expecting either. The Jaguars and the Texans.
And this score
Did we roll
doesn't
with the
reflect.
Jaguars?
Yeah, both of us went with the Jags,
Oh
but this
man,
score
yeah,
doesn't reflect how the game was. The Jaguars
yeah,
are getting their ass beat
yeah.
all game.
It was a shellacking. The Texans.
Hmm.
Tyrod Taylor was in God mode out here, just bombing balls.
He
Uh,
was
yeah, I mean, this is the first loss of Trevor Lawrence's career, pretty much,
right.
and he threw 3 interceptions in this game.
Threw 3 touchdowns,
Three
but three
touchdowns,
interceptions.
but 3 interceptions, 330 yards. Tyrod Taylor threw 2 touchdowns and 290 yards, no turnovers.
One
Mark
of my
Ingram
favorite
balled out,
players.
85 yards and a touchdown.
One of my favorite players. Even though he hasn't been with us for years, I always loved Brandon Cooks. He had 132 yards on
132 yards. Like,
Mm-hmm.
nobody really thought Brandon Cooks was going to be out here doing damage anywhere. Like,
Exactly.
maybe a couple years ago, but not now.
Right.
But look at,
Especially
like,
after all the injuries.
with all the drama going surrounding the Texans and them just trading away all their assets and just picking up random pieces, nobody
Yeah.
expected this to happen at all. Like they
Maybe
weren't
they
really
were
expecting the
from-
Jaguars to demolish them at all, but they weren't expecting just the Texans to just come out whomping and a whooping.
Maybe the Texans end up surprising a lot of teams and vying for a wild card spot later in the year. And
That's
getting,
what I'm
like,
thinking. Like
second in the
nobody's going to
division.
know how to handle them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a hodgepodge of players. I feel the island of
But
misfit players is on the Houston.
they
Texans.
also did play the Jags, so let's wait and see where else we go.
Yeah, exactly. The Browns and the Chiefs, man,
This game
This
was
was-
incredible.
left Cleveland in tears.
I was expecting it the whole time, and like when it wasn't happening, I was like, okay, is Cleveland actually gonna do this? And then there you go. Pat Mahomes
out here throwing side passes like nothing, bro.
on fire, man. Tyreek Hill had 197 yards.
Yeah,
That is wild to me, man. On my fantasy team, he had almost as many points as Tom Brady. It was ridiculous. But-
Baker Mayfield had 320 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Pat Mahomes ended up with 330 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, just Pat Mahomes doing Pat Mahomes things there. He's not leading the league in passing or anything at the moment here, but he showed you why he's been the 2 straight Super Bowls with that comeback there.
Yeah, Tyreek with 197 yards is outrageous, dude.
Yeah,
Outrageous.
I'm so glad I got Tyreek Hill on my team, man. Like, I hope that he just continues rolling all season long.
Oh, he will. He will. And
Stay
Nick
healthy.
Chubb, he had 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just came down to the wire. And I mean, that turnover. And then you have the weird punt that happened
Yeah,
where dude just kind of was running around. I didn't understand what was going on there. That just screwed everything up.
it did. The Browns being the Browns, like you said. That's how that game ended up.
Brownies gonna be the Brownies.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads us into our 4 o'clock games here, Vern.
Oh, God.
The Dolphins versus their division rivals, the Patriots.
Them
Your Patriots.
asshole Dolphins came up to Foxborough in our house and beat us by 1 point again. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I mean, my completely unbiased opinion, I think the Dolphins didn't do a lot to win that game, but neither did we.
Oh no,
You know,
no, I felt like
we
it was a very like I don't know, it was a weird
it was a
game.
it was a bad game to be
Yeah,
completely honest with
because
you.
like
Like
I totally agree. The Dolphins didn't look anything special, and
the
even the Patriots,
Patriots,
yeah, they were just about the same. You guys played pretty much the same game.
exactly. Both teams played pretty terrible football. Great defense, but pretty terrible football. We ended up with 4 fumbles and lost 2 of them. Okay. Mac Jones, I think he did pretty great. You know, he didn't do crazy or anything like that.
Yeah, he had
281,
281 yards and a touchdown, no
a
interceptions, no
touchdown,
turnovers.
doing his thing out there. Just didn't do anything to necessarily win us the game either. Like, you know, so Damian Harris had that fumble late, which
Yeah,
really resulted in the end of the
yeah.
game there.
He had 100
'Cause
yards, which wasn't
we
bad
were
for his week
chugging.
one. But yeah,
We were heading towards the end zone there, and then he ended up putting it on the ground. So it happens. Nelson Aguilar, great first
he balled out.
performance with us, 72
72
yards and a
yards.
touchdown.
Yep.
But we're on to New York. We're gonna play the Jets next week and get back on track there.
All right. This next one, man. Holy hell. This is
This
probably
was a
the
funny one.
upset of the week of week one. Uh,
Mhm.
the Saints and the Packers here. Nobody expected the reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers to come out here and just lay a goose egg, pretty much.
He had 2 picks and 133 yards and ended up getting benched.
Yeah,
And
ended up
like I don't
getting
know if it's benched as in you're playing bad or benched as in the game's too far away type of bench. But either way, he got benched.
this
And
dude
it
threw
was
like
terrible.
6 picks in the last 2 years or something like that, and then he throws 2 in the first game of this year.
It begs the question, is he doing this on purpose?
I don't know. I feel like Aaron wouldn't do that, but you never know. It just
Depends
seemed
on
like
how
he
much
was
he
just
hates
like
the tactic.
sometimes he was just like, fuck it. And he's just gonna whip
Yeah,
the ball out there, man. I don't know what was happening.
exactly.
Like their
It was kind
defense
of unfortunate
terrible.
because I have Aaron Jones on my fantasy team, so like I was really hoping. And once I saw it was like what 14 or what 17-3, something like that. It happened. Like he's
Yeah.
not getting the ball. They're gonna be passing, you know. So I was kind of disappointed there, but that was definitely a shocker. We both picked Green Bay in that one.
Yeah, and it ended up 38-3. Jameis Winston had 148 yards, 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
Because they were just getting turnover after turnover too.
Mm-hmm. He was eating W's.
Kamara had 83 yards rushing. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Saints,
Good game by
man.
the Saints, man. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they needed was Jameis Winston. Even though you have Drew Brees, Jameis Winston was heaving the ball down the field.
Yeah, Jameis Winston looked great. Like he exceeded
Mhm.
expectations that game. And who knows? We'll see who they play next week. But yeah, that's a hell of a win is to beat the Packers like that on opening week. This next game, Broncos and the Giants.
I was wrong. I
You
picked
picked the
Danny
Giants.
Nichols because I was trying to give him an opportunity to regain the name Danny Dimes, and
Nope.
he has not. He has now apparently like turned the ball over 40 some times in
Yep.
his 28 starts, something
Yeah.
like that. You know, and like I can't no more. I don't know if I'll pick the Giants for the rest of the season.
I don't think so either. I mean, Danny, he ended up with 267 yards and a touchdown and a fumble late in the game. But
Teddy
Teddy
Bridgewater played
Bridgewater balled, man.
Mhm.
Melvin Gordon had 101 rushing yards and a touchdown for them. Jerry Jeudy had 72 yards before he got hurt. Apparently has an ankle injury. He's going to be out like 6 weeks, they said.
great.
So,
Oh
I mean,
man,
it's going to be a
that's
while.
terrible. I hate to hear that because I just want to see great players be great. You know.
Yeah, exactly. For the Giants, I mean, Sterling Shepard, he had 113 yards and a touchdown. But man, Danny Nichols doesn't look good. Like this dude's going to be a backup next year somewhere. I don't
Yeah,
think the
he's good.
Giants, depending how the rest of the season goes, there is a lot of season left. I see them just going somewhere else next year. I think they're either going to just
He's
try to
gonna
draft
go
a
the
QB.
way of Trubisky. He's gonna end up like backing up Trevor Lawrence or something.
Maybe
You know
Trubisky
what I
going to
mean?
go start in New York or something because he's going to be looking for a starting job.
Trubisky.
I think he'll be better than Danny Nichols.
I think he would too, even if slightly.
But yeah, I want to thank the Broncos for that help, as well as the Chargers and the Buccaneers this week. But yeah, the Broncos they look pretty decent. Their defense looked great. I know Von Miller has nothing but nice things. He had an interview after the game saying like how praising Teddy Bridgewater is like he hasn't felt that way since like Peyton Manning was there.
Right.
When they were winning
They got a quarterback now.
They got
you
a
know?
quarterback, yeah. And like Drew Lock in the background.
Just
Son of a
damn.
Damn.
I'm a quarterback.
I'm a quarterback. I could do this.
Barely.
Which leads to that then the night game there was the Bears and the Rams. And oh man, the Rams just took it to them the whole
I actually
game.
fell asleep. So I didn't see the end of this.
Oh, you didn't miss too much.
I when I looked the next morning, I was like, oh, I didn't miss too much there. You know, so like the Rams were winning when I went to bed, woke up the same, you know, so
yeah.
Matt Stafford looking great in his new area.
320 yards and 3 touchdowns, man.
Only 6 incompletions, man.
Yeah, he was slinging it. He was bombing them down the field to Cooper Kupp, getting touchdowns. Henderson ended up with 70 yards rushing. Cooper Kupp had 100 yards and a touchdown. Man, the Bears just look lost. Like the Bears look like, surprisingly enough, the 2020 Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Where they got Andy Dalton under center, who's afraid to run. They're not moving him out of the pocket anywhere. And then they're trying to throw Justin Fields in there every now and then for like little gadget plays, and it's just not working.
Hey, he had 1 rush for 3 yards and a touchdown. He was also 2 for 2 on both his pass attempts. So, in my humble opinion, it's time to start Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton ended up with 200 yards and an interception.
Yeah, come on now. Why are they?
And he had
God.
fumbles as well. But yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
They don't look good at all. The play calling is terrible. Like the designs of the plays are just mediocre. It's just Matt Nagy. You know, we both kind of predicted he's going to be out of there after this year anyway.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, man. I'll just get 1 more year of paychecks and then see where we go. But he's not doing anything for himself for his next position.
Yeah, and then you have the crazy end to week 1, which was Monday night, the Ravens versus the Raiders.
This is a great game.
I think we both predicted the Ravens to win this. I kind of had a feeling earlier on Monday. I was like, I can see the Raiders somehow winning this game. And sure enough, they did. Both teams had an opportunity to win this game multiple times at the end of the game.
Right.
Went to overtime.
Even Derek Carr throwing an interception in overtime. You know, at that point, I'm like, oh my God, it's over. But sure enough, they did it, man. They got a fumble out of that at the end. Lamar ended up with 86 yards rushing, which is crazy. But Derek Carr had the most passing yards out of anybody week 1 with 435.
Crazy.
He's not bad, man. Like, I've always felt like he was above average. He's not great, but he's definitely well above average.
Yeah, and I mean, his pretty much lonely target for the night, Darren Waller, had 105 yards and 1 touchdown. He was going to him all night, dude. I mean, Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns and 34 rushing. But passing, like Darren Waller was that dude who was he was finding them all game. But yeah, apparently the Raiders couldn't find their kicker at the end of the game, from what the coach said, Jay Gruden. They wanted to come out and kick the field goal to win the game in overtime. That's why they threw the pass there at the end. Like when they hiked out and they threw the Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah.
It's because they couldn't find the kicker. Apparently he was over there like somewhere warming up and they couldn't find him. So they're just like, fuck it, keep the offense out on the field. And they drew up that play.
Interesting.
That's what Jay Gruden said. It was like they couldn't find the kicker in time. And he just said, fuck it. We're just going to send the offense out. They were like, the defense was in 0 coverage. So they just fucking bombed it out there.
That's awesome. I didn't even hear about that. That's awesome, though.
I saw that today. I was like, oh my God, that is nuts. This dude, Chucky, is nuts.
He is. He looks wild, too.
He was pissed. Like the whole end of the game.
Throw his clipboard down on the ground, that he had to pick up all the things. But it was awesome seeing Peyton Manning and
yeah, that was the real highlight of last night.
Right.
Watching week 1 of like the Manning broadcast.
Yep, exactly. And they had all the different guest appearances on it. I didn't get to see it live there, but I was watching it back today, and I was just loving every part of what I was seeing. Like, kind of mad that I didn't get to see it live. Like at one point, Peyton Manning's putting the Ravens helmet on, and it doesn't fit his head. and
It's
he's
so
like talking.
huge.
He's like, and then one dude makes a comment about, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't have an extra large one to fit your forehead." I'm like, damn, they said that shit right in front of. It's just hilarious to
It's
me.
funny, dude, because like when I first turned it on, the Raiders were on offense, and Peyton had a Raiders visor on, drawing
Yeah,
plays up on the
talking about.
board.
He's like, "I'm Gruden." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I love that shit.
and
It's
that's
gonna
when
be a
like
good season.
whenever you were talking about with like he had the helmet on, Eli had like the play page, and he's like, "I'm gonna be your coach," and then he's like, "All right, let's do this," and he went over and he grabbed the helmet, and then like later in the broadcast, Eli's like, he's like, "I got a text from Dad saying to stop itching your head," and it just kept showing like. They even ran it back with like all the different times
All the
Peyton was,
times
like,
he
itching
just
his head, and he's like, there was something on that helmet, man. It just kept itching. He's like, I think I got a rash or something. He's like, that's why I can only wear Colts or Broncos helmets.
that's the moments that like I love, just the
Yeah.
genuinely funny moments, and they're just
Oh my gosh,
not
there's a lot
scripted,
of them, and it was just so cool. It took a minute for me to get into it because it's so much information so fast. I feel like Peyton, especially, is just breaking down everything as it's happening
Right.
in real time.
Like Tony Romo on crack.
Exactly. And he just keeps going. And then Eli tries to say something in between.
I enjoyed watching Eli too, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like he didn't do anything bad to that
I'm
show,
looking
man. He
forward to
definitely.
there was a lot of crazy stuff. Like there's a lot of flaws. Like you could hear, like, I don't know if you, cause you said you didn't watch it live. Whenever they were actually, you could hear the countdown for commercial break by like one of the producers. It was like 3, 2, 1, and then it would just cut off in the middle of their conversation or whatever. And then like right before halftime, the studio that Eli was in, the fire alarm started going off, and you could hear it in the background. And then he's just sitting there, like they just shut his camera, I think, down. They just let it go until half, and then when they came back to halftime, the fire alarm was off. Yeah, it was. They mentioned it once, and then they just ignored it the rest of the time it was happening.
It's gonna take a little bit, but they'll get more comfortable doing that every week. They're more like efficient with the way that they're running it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, man, because I really liked what they were doing there. It's cool to see two, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks just kind of break down the game for you. It's a lot more enjoyable than just watching the regular broadcast because like they're not as professional. They're having fun. They're able to like joke with each other. And
it was almost like me and you sitting here watching the game because they had it like on. It looks like I'm watching it on the internet type of thing because they have little boxes up and it looked great. It's so like perfect for me.
There was like 3 or 4 different times that Peyton kept like making fun of Tom Brady, and it was for only one thing, and that was like when he was talking about the defenses. And he would mention the numbers on the jerseys. He would like, Tom's just gonna have to get over it. He's been in the league for like 40 years now. You think he would know how to read a defense and stuff? And like he would just like every time he would talk about defense, he would be like, "Yep, Tom doesn't like that, but hey, it is what it is. That's the game now."
I saw the one point Russell Wilson was on, and they were looking at Sierra's like dress that she wore to the Met Gala, and she was wearing like a green number 3 jersey almost, but it was like a dress, and she had like a football, cool. And she was wearing Russ's ring and his Super Bowl ring, and Peyton May is just like, yeah, I wanted to have that, but I couldn't, you know what I mean? He's like, and then Russ chimed in with, Tom Brady's got my ring too, you know what I mean? Like, just, I love seeing that type of stuff, so I'm excited for really next week, but we got week 2 coming up here.
Yeah, absolutely, and speaking of that, we'll hop right into our week 2 picks here. Thursday night game, it's battle of the NFC East. It's the Giants versus the Washington no-names out here, which kind of sucks because one of them has to get a win.
I'm picking the team that just got their quarterback hurt, not the team with a perfectly healthy one. Okay, Washington
the no-names
all
as well.
The way. Washington all the way, man. I can't do it.
Washington.
And if the Giants win this game, I would be so mad.
In a perfect world, I wish they would tie, but
damn it, possible. You can say that if you want to go.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Washington going to end up winning this game, even with Taylor Heineke in there. I mean, Taylor Heineke, they took the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers the distance in the playoffs. I think they're going to be able to beat the Danny Nichols Giants here on Thursday night.
Exactly. Even with the loss last week to the Chargers there, they'll bounce back here. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Danny Nichols is going to get eaten alive by that defense they have, that defensive side. Yeah. What's the first game you have on Sunday slate here?
I have my game first, and then the
Okay.
Bengals and the Bears.
Okay. We can talk about yours here quick. Because that's a 1 o'clock game. Yeah,
Yep.
Patriots Jets. I'm picking the Pats in
I'm
this one, man.
rolling with New England, even though they burned me on my pick last week. Bill Belichick's record against rookie quarterbacks is ridiculous. It's disgusting. So I'm just going to roll with the trend there on
Yeah.
that one. I think Mac Jones will look fine this week as well. It'll be an easier matchup than we had week one.
That's
So
crazy. You guys get 2 division matchups in your first 2 weeks. That's
I know,
crazy.
right? But
Um,
hey, it is what it is.
yeah,
Miami did take us down there, but I think we can get the Jets here. So we'll get to 1-1 in the division.
guys gonna get back on track here against them dang
Absolutely.
Jets. Uh,
Absolutely.
but yeah, next we have the Bengals and the Bears.
Hmm.
I want to go with the Bengals on this one.
I am too. I got to roll with
Chicago's the
Cincinnati.
favorite in it, from what the sports books are saying. But I'm picking the
That don't make
Bengals.
no sense. The only way Chicago should be the favorite is if they're starting Justin Fields. So
Yeah,
if something changes
yeah,
from now until Sunday where they're starting Justin Fields, then I might pick the Bears. But as of right now, I'm going Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
yeah. Let's put that contingency in there that if they decide to start Justin Fields, we're picking the Bears.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, other than that, I'm picking the Bengals there. Next here, the Texans and the Browns. I think
Oh,
I think the Browns gonna take it to the Texans.
I do too. As much as we were impressed by the Texans there, I think
Yeah,
Cleveland takes this game. They were destroying Kansas City at the beginning of the game, and it really
yeah,
looked like, oh my God, they're the real deal from last year. And then it's Pat Mahomes, so they're not going to have the same thing happen to them this week here. So Baker
yeah.
Mayfield will
I
get
wouldn't think so. Next, you got the Rams and the Colts.
them. I think I'm gonna have to roll with the Rams on
I
this
think
one,
I am too, man.
just
I think
because I like what I saw out of Matt Stafford there, and Wentz. It's not necessarily his fault, but that O line ain't helping at all. Like
yeah,
I had seen nothing impressive out of the Colts quite yet.
exactly. I've seen this story before. I'm rolling with them Rams.
Exactly. Next
Another
up.
division matchup here: the Bills and the Dolphins.
Gross.
I think the Bills gonna get back on track. I think they're gonna come out here and beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, me too. Especially with the lackluster performance that Miami had against us. Even though they beat us,
Yeah,
the
I think
Bills
the
are much
Bills'
better.
defense is better than that.
Right. Exactly. I think their offense is better than that. Even
I think
so.
their offense is better than that as well.
Right. So I'm taking Buffalo in that one as well.
Yep, definitely.
Ooh, the next game. 49ers and them Eagles.
I'm picking the Birds. I'm
Uh,
going with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles defense, and I think we're
I'm,
gonna beat them 49ers.
I'm with you. I'm going with Philly as well, just to see what happens. Like
I think we can do it, man.
let's see if they can roll off real hot here. San Fran's only a 3.5 point favorite, so Vegas isn't convinced that they're gonna win either. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Philadelphia on that one.
Yeah, and I feel more comfortable not only seeing what the Eagles did after week 1, but also seeing how the game kind of played out with the 49ers against the Lions. I feel like
Right.
the
See them
Eagles are
come
definitely
back.
better than the Lions, so I feel like we can definitely give them a decent game. So I'm
Right.
rolling with them Birds.
Let's see what happens, but I'm rolling with Philly as well.
Raiders and the Steelers. I don't think, and much as I hate to say it, I think the Steelers are going to win this one. I don't see
Okay.
the Raiders lucking their way into another win here.
This will be our first disparity there. I'm going with Las Vegas.
Oh, go with Vegas, huh?
They
Yeah,
surprised me last week, man. I'm not sold, but Pittsburgh didn't do anything special until the end of the game. They did beat
true,
Buffalo,
true.
but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just rolling with Las Vegas on that one. I got a feeling.
Okay. Saints and the Panthers. I'm inclined to roll with Jameis, man. Roll with the
Yeah.
hot hand on this one.
Eating W's until I see
W's.
otherwise. I'm rolling with James Winston. 5 touchdowns last week. Are you kidding me? He's gonna come out and do the same thing to Carolina here.
Exactly. Broncos and the Jaguars. I'm rolling with Teddy Bridgewater. They're 6-point favorites on this one against the Jags.
Yeah, Jacksonville didn't prove nothing to me. So I'm gonna roll with Broncos here. I was wrong picking against the Broncos last week. I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
Vikings and the Cardinals. Like you're saying, I picked against the Cardinals last week, but I'm not going to do it again. I'm picking the Cardinals.
I'm rolling with Arizona, man. I'm telling you, I might pick them every week, to be honest with you, depending on the matchup. I'm really impressed by Kyler Murray. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, he's looking like a human cheat code out here.
Exactly.
Falconeers, Buccaneers. Falconeers, Falcons, Buccaneers.
Falconeers.
Falconeers,
Um,
Buccaneers.
I didn't even hear you say that.
I'm picking the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers.
Right. And with AB balling like he's a number one receiver again, that might be even scarier. You
Eagles
got
put up
three.
like 31 points on them. I think Tampa Bay going to put up like 41, 47
Mhm.
points on them.
It's going to be pretty bad. Pretty
They're
good for me
12-point favorites.
having Tom Brady and Chris Godwin on my fantasy team, but pretty bad for the Falcons there. They're going to have two pretty big losses in a row.
Yeah. Cowboys and the Chargers.
Oh, man. I think I got to go with Dallas on that one.
I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Okay. Gotcha.
Chargers are actually the favorite in this game, surprisingly.
They are a
Dallas
3-point
was.
favorite. It's probably because they're at home, but I just feel like, I don't know, maybe not, because Justin Herbert has got a cannon, so he's probably going to eat that defense up. So it's going to come down to Dak Prescott being able to keep up.
Yeah. And I think they have the weapons to do it.
They do. I'm going to roll with Dallas. Have you
Okay.
written down as the Chargers there?
Okay. Titans and the Seahawks. Interesting matchup. I don't know if I want to go with the Titans again this week. They disappointed me last week. Seahawks are rolling.
You know how Seattle is at the beginning of the year, so we're still in that period here. I'm going to roll with Seattle.
I think I'm going to go with Seattle, man.
Russell Wilson's looking great out there.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, man.
Interesting primetime game next Sunday night. The Chiefs and the Ravens. Normally we get this much later into the season.
Right. Unfortunately, this game isn't going to be all it's billed to be because we have a lot of injuries on the Ravens side. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to be pretty lopsided. I do see Kansas City is only a 3-point favorite, but
Yeah,
it's probably going to be pretty
surprising.
lopsided there.
I think the Chiefs are going to get it, man.
Right. Me too.
Which means the Ravens going to be starting 0-2. Not a good start.
It's definitely not a good start. I'm glad I picked the Browns to win the division, but they lost too, so we'll see what happens.
It is a 17-game season now, so
Right.
there's a game kind of pick some extra time to pick things up.
Mm-hmm.
The Monday night game, division game, Packers Lions. I think Packers gonna come out. I think they're gonna be able to beat the Lions here. If not, I don't know if I can trust them again.
I'm going to roll with Detroit.
Oh, Dan Campbell gonna bite Aaron Rodgers' kneecaps.
Exactly. I'm gonna go with Jared Goff and these Lions, man. I really liked what I saw out of the offense, even though they had a late start.
Mhm.
And if Green Bay does anything near what they did last week, the Lions should be able to put that away. But Green Bay is a 10.5-point favorite, like you said, because they're at home and everything. They are the Packers. They do have Aaron Rodgers, but I'm gonna roll with the Lions on that
I
one.
think they'll find a way to get everything sorted out. They definitely weren't expecting what happened to them this past week.
Right.
I think they're going to be able to get it right here going into this next week, especially with some tape on teams now.
I can definitely see that.
But yeah, that's all of our predictions here. So we'll just kind of go through some of the news that's been happening during the week. Other than that, there is some game related some stuff, but a lot of it is news not pertaining to games. This one was kind of announced today, and apparently an announcement is going to be made during halftime of the Thursday night Giants Washington game. That's going to involve the future of the Hard Knock series.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means.
I wonder what they mean by that. Like,
Future
are they
of the
gonna
Hard Knock series.
do multiple teams like they did the one year with the Chargers and the Rams? Or are they gonna do
What if they did
throughout
like
the season?
a web series for every team? Where like
That'd be
they're gonna have a
awesome.
Hard Knocks team, like a small little team with every team. That way you'll get like internet videos every week on like what's going on behind the scenes.
Who knows? I'm
That would
actually
be
interested to see what that turns out to be.
Yeah. NFLPA determined that Josh Gordon has successfully completed his NFL monitor treatment program, is recommended to the NFL that he be reinstated.
Yep.
Fisher
I saw that. I was very
said
happy
he's ready
about
to
that.
play back after, and he's vaccinated as well. So he's looking for a team, possibly go back to Seattle. Who knows?
So Goodell gave him the clearance already?
It says it's awaiting approval from Roger Goodell.
Okay.
But yeah, they apparently NFLPA said that he's good to go.
Awesome. Can't wait to see Josh Gordon back in the league, and I wish him the best, man. We keep seeing this every couple, games that he plays, but I hope the best for him, even if he goes to see.
League sources believe that Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is emerging as the head candidate for the USC job.
Interesting.
That
He's
just opened up here. For a lot of people that don't know, USC decided to can their coach after one game. It was Clay Helton.
pretty funny. Like, he played one game and he got fired, but like there had to be something more than that.
Had to be like
But-
something that's not released yet.
That'd be cool, I guess. I just thought he was going to get a position in the NFL.
I thought so too. Everyone kind of assumed he was going to be a head coach somewhere.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
Eventually, 49ers running back Raheem Mostert out for the season, undergoing season-ending surgery. Done. Kenny Stills is signing with the Saints, a
Ooh.
practice squad. Apparently, he's not even on the active roster as of yet, but apparently they're looking to move him up to the active roster.
Okay. Try to get him back into football shape.
Yeah, exactly. See what he can do. Move him up to the regular squad.
Right.
Apparently, the Broncos are expected to go up for sale next year, and apparently Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z are rumored buyers for the Broncos.
Interesting. That'd be crazy if Bezos owns an NFL team.
Or Jay-Z owns the Broncos.
I
That'd
feel
be cool.
like that makes more sense. Even though Bezos has way more money, I feel like Jay-Z being an NFL owner would be awesome.
It would be
Bezos
awesome.
being an NFL owner would be awkward.
I mean, I think Jay-Z announced it this past year that he's actually involved in the NFL with certain things, isn't he?
Mhm.
I forget what it was, but he is involved in the NFL. So I mean, just owning a team just solidifies it even more.
I think that's something that's inevitable. The same if like LeBron will own a team one day, like Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Yes,
You know
like,
what's going
it's-
to happen. DB Clinton Dix signed with the Raiders practice squad.
Okay. So he's another practice squad addition, maybe just trying to get back into football shape and then
Yeah,
roll
he's
the
just kind of
system.
bouncing around, man. I mean, he was on
Yeah.
the 49ers for a minute, and then he's just kind of bouncing around now.
He was great on Green Bay, but this
Yeah.
ain't the same now.
Aaron Rodgers is now the 5th reigning MVP to throw 0 pass touchdowns and multiple interceptions in a season opener.
It's wild that he's the 5th one to do
5th
that.
one. Before he had 1985 Dan Marino, 84 Joe Theismann, 75 Ken Stabler, and then you have 1967 Bart Starr.
Interesting. And Aaron Rodgers joins that
Aaron
list.
Rodgers, 2021,
Ugh.
joining Dan Marino was the last one in 1985.
Damn, it's been 30-some years.
Yeah.
35 years.
Normally, them
34 years,
MVPs
something
come out balling the next year, man.
I mean, it was one game, and he does kind of have that look in his eye, like he's like, watch it burn. But I think he'll bounce back. I don't think
girl
that's
outside
true.
Of the house, smiling.
Yeah,
when
that
it's
girl
burning
outside of the
down.
house watching the house burn behind her. But it's hard to believe that until we see more of this.
Exactly. Jeff's left tackle, Mekhi Becton, is expected to be sidelined 4 to 6 weeks for a knee surgery
Okay.
to clean up cartilage damage that was in there. Apparently, not good.
Dude.
Lion CB Jeff Okuda, I'm guessing Jeff Okuda suffered a ruptured Achilles and is ending his season during the
Oh,
game.
man. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Terrible.
Wow. Sucks.
Yeah. And during week 1, despite full crowds being back around the league, 8 underdogs won outright, including 5 were on the road.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, man.
And that's what I like to see. That's what we were saying. We had so many great games and surprises this weekend. Hope we keep going, get some good games throughout the year.
Yeah, and to touch on that a little bit too, the NFC West, all the teams won, and the NFC North, all the teams lost. So Packers, Bears, Lions, Vikings lost. NFC West, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals all won. So it's cool. It's crazy that one division has all wins and one has all losses at this point. New Orleans Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore agreed to a 5-year, $97 million extension. Could be worth up to $100 million with $68 million guaranteed.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be sticking around for a while. That's a move that makes sense to shore up that defense there.
Yeah. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan believed that cornerback Jason Verrett tore his ACL in the game.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of players are getting hurt before the season. A lot more dropping in the first week,
Week by week, man. You just pray that it's not your players.
You just pray. Taylor Jones up to 5 sacks in
In
one game. in one
And
game.
like
He
I
had two
was
like strip
telling,
fumbles too as well or
right,
something.
he's having a career season already in one game. So
He's looking to get paid. Like he
I
was
would
threatening to
love to
opt
see it.
out. And this dude, he's gonna get the bag, man. I
He's
don't know
gonna
if it's
get so much
Arizona,
money.
but he's
Imagine
gonna
if
go
he
somewhere.
shatters that record and has like 30 sacks this year or something like that. He's gonna be getting more money than TJ Watt.
Yeah. Apparently, Urban Meyer has repeated issues with his temper and has become unhinged within Jacksonville. They're saying
After 1 week,
after the 1 week,
oh,
already trouble in Jacksonville.
he's not used to losing games.
Naheem Hines with the Colts agreed to a 3-year, $18.6 million extension.
Okay, good move for them.
Yeah. You see here, Cowboys offensive tackle Lowell Collins been suspended 5 games for I think he missed a drug test or else he failed a drug test. It didn't really specify. It had something to do with the drug situation within the NFL.
Okay.
Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup has a calf strain out 3 to 5 weeks. It sucks, but we play them week 3. Another weapon to get out of the way.
Amari Cooper is playing great though.
Amari Cooper is playing great. CD Lamb is playing pretty well as well. But that's Michael Gallup. You know, he's no one to be trifled with as well. He could make some catches. He's
exactly.
fast.
So once he's back in the lineup there, it would kind of open things up a little bit more for CD Lamb and Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Washington wide receiver Curtis Samuel is being placed on IR with a groin injury, out for first 3 weeks of the season, which sucks. Buccaneers, we talked about, are the first team in NFL history to lose the turnover margin by at least 3, incur 100 penalty yards, and allow 450 yards in a game and still win. So Tom Brady still out here just
every week
breaking records already.
Every week he's breaking records. He broke the 300 start record. And he broke that record. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. He's playing too long. Retire.
It's funny. Now you on the retire trade.
Retire.
Retire.
Get out of here.
Ravens signed Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell here, and Latavius Murray as well.
So all 3 of them signing Murray. Okay.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Latavius Murray was actually on the active roster there last night when Bell and Devontae Freeman weren't. They were on the practice squads.
They were on healthy scratches.
Well, yeah, so all 3 of those running back free agents we were talking about before are all on the same team now, which is crazy. And plus, because we didn't talk about this because it happened during the week, because also Gus Edwards had a season-ending injury as well, the running back.
That's why they signed all these running backs here.
Exactly. And the Steelers came to a deal with TJ Watt, 4-year extension of worth more than $112 million, 28 average per year, 80 full guaranteed at signing.
I think that made him the highest defensive player of all time, right?
Oh, yeah, of all time. Yeah.
Guarantees and everything.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. But he deserves it. He did great in that week 1 game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But that's all I have here as far as that news. So we can kind of roll into a little bit of NBA news, unless we want to talk about college. I know it's some depressing news, but we might as well head off. The Buckeyes lost this week.
Buckeyes lost to Oregon. Oregon outplayed us in every aspect of the game. It's early. That's the only positive thing, is that it's so early. They ended up falling to 10 in the rankings. So we got a lot of time left, a lot of ground to make up. Just keep.
We're still in the 10
every game.
Yeah, now you got to really win. You got
that quarterback we have is so young, man. I think he's like 19. So just gotta kind of, it's growing pains right now. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
The whole team is young.
Yeah. And before we hit on NBA as well, we want to congratulate old boy Derek Jeter for getting inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a legend for the New York
He
Yankees.
is. I don't have a picture up here, but it's in my room over there. Just got a picture of Derek Jeter. And
nice,
it's got like
Jeter.
a couple little pictures of him. Like, I've always liked Derek Jeter, man.
Yeah.
Great dude.
So congrats to him. A little bit of NBA news. There was a couple different things here. Denver Nuggets, Aaron Gordon, who they recently traded for, they've agreed to a 4-year, $92 million extension.
Yeah,
so he's going to be sticking it around with the Nuggets.
Him, Jamal Murray, Jokic, they're about to roll,
Exactly.
I'm excited to see it. It's another big 3 out there. It's not a big 3, but it's a good squad.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them, with Jamal Murray, healthy out there. They're looking to do some damage there in the West. John Wall and the Houston Rockets met and they're mutually agreeing to work together to find a new home for him.
Interesting.
They're not looking to buy him out because his deal is pretty steep, but they're looking to move him via a trade. But they're willing to work with him to see where he wants to go.
Right, which that's awesome because I saw that he won't be playing for the Rockets next year, but I didn't know that they were working with him to kind of find a destination there. So
Yeah, which is
that's
pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I hope. I mean, the Bulls definitely can. We don't even have a roster spot, but I mean, dude's got some basketball left in him.
Yeah.
He proved that this year.
I doubt he'll end up on the Lakers or Nets
Yeah.
super teams.
I think they said something was like 80 mil or something was like
Yeah.
on his deal left.
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. NBA Board of Governors will vote this month to approve the coach's challenge being the lone method to review out of bound calls with under 2 minutes left in games.
Okay. So they're still trying to change things here, like just for the better,
Yeah, meaning out of bound plays will no longer be automatically triggered by officials. They'll have to be called.
It'll be like,
have to
okay, you
challenge.
want to waste your challenge on that, or can we keep the game going here?
Yeah. They're like, we're not stopping this game now. It's up to you.
It's up to you, man. It's 2 minutes left. Come on.
The NBA G League will have its first Latin American team in the 2021-22 season, Mexico City Capitans.
Nice.
But the Capitans will play all their games in the United States due to COVID-19 restrictions on international travel. But
so they don't get home games, but it's a stepping
not
stone.
as of yet. But they'll have Mexico City Capitans.
Awesome. I saw they added like 4 teams or something like that.
Yeah. And this is I've seen this a couple places, but I haven't seen it reported by like Bleacher Report, so I don't know how true it is, but I hope it is. NBA Executive Vice President Evan Wash said the NBA has explored the possibility of outdoor games being played.
Please.
So imagine like the Nets
too.
versus Knicks at Rucker Park. Like that would be amazing.
Oh my God.
I think the only reason they wouldn't was because they're not going to be able to sell like thousands of tickets unless they actually build a little arena to put people in. But I mean, why not? That would be amazing. Imagine them doing like a game at like Venice Beach on like the outside courts there or whatever. They just make them look nice, and there's like a beach in the background while
they should just charge astronomical prices for the tickets and let them have the like little bit of stands that are there. You know,
exactly.
Just a little bit that are already there. Like make it.
You'll see like Jack Nicholson chilling on
right. Pay $13,000 for that ticket. 14.
A night game outside with like actual lights down on the court would be amazing.
I want to see it on the court, like on that concrete too, like with the paint.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that. I think it's a great idea. The last time they did anything like this was 2010. So it'd be great to do something like that again. Apparently they've done it 4 times in the history of the league.
4 times. I didn't know that. Damn. Yeah, it's exciting. I hope they do that, man. That would be really, really cool. I would love to see that. No matter who's playing the game.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Timberwolves apparently they don't want to trade Anthony Edwards or Karl Anthony Towns. Those are the deal breakers, and they really would rather not trade D'Angelo Russell in a trade for Ben Simmons.
Okay. So they're still trying.
So they're definitely not getting rid of Cat or Anthony Edwards, but D'Angelo Russell isn't out of the question. So I don't know. It seems like nobody wants D'Angelo Russell for some reason, man. The Warriors didn't want him. The Timberwolves don't want him now.
They don't want him. He's just the asset. People want him.
Yeah, he's not like
want him. You know what I mean? So like that's why he keeps moving.
Yeah.
But I saw rumors about it being like a 4-team trades in the works for Ben Simmons and all this other stuff. So I believes it when I sees it.
Yeah. Let me see here. Free agent guard Antoine Moore agreed to a 1-year, $2.6 deal with the Orlando Magic. Pacers Edmund Sumner suffered a torn Achilles tendon during a workout, and he's going to be out for the season. The Nets recently traded for Jahlil Okafor the other week, and now they just waived him because pretty much the whole point of that trade was getting money off their books at that point.
They didn't need him. They were just like, all right, let's trade this player with this contract. We'll take yours back and see you. They still save money.
Yeah, exactly. Nets doing it. They kind of just playing Like, they remind me of Howie Roseman right now. We're cooking the books, working the contracts and stuff. Toronto Raptors have received approval from the government of Canada to play in Toronto this season.
Cool.
They don't have to play in the U.S. anymore.
Perfect.
And two more things here. Cleveland Cavaliers agreed to sign guard Denzel Valentine from the Bulls. He's joining Lauri Markkanen, his former teammate from this past year on the Cavaliers.
He'll win like 19 games.
Exactly. And let me see here. And the last bit I have here was just like involving Marc Gasol here, but we can kind of talk about that going into the bias bubbles.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of that, we can just kind of roll into the bias bubbles. That's the last bit of news that I had here.
Lakers.
So yeah, I mean, the thing I had here was the Lakers agreed to trade Marc Gasol and a 2024 second round pick and cash to the Grizzlies for draft rights to Wang Zeland.
I hope that dude ends up being like a Luka Doncic. Like, that would be amazing. I saw this, and like I know he's still playing over there, but it would be amazing to see what he could turn into. Who knows?
Yeah.
At this
he
point,
saved $10 million on the deal too. Apparently, he
right.
got $10 million on the books. You
So,
like them Nets?
Trying to cook the books, trying to get as many
Cooking them
superstars
books.
as we possibly can, but as many former All-Stars as we can. win LeBron another championship. But I did see the Lakers had a new jersey that leaked.
I did. I saw that, the purple one.
Yeah, man, that thing looks sick, to be honest with you. Like, obviously,
It
it's not like
cool.
the
I
home
was
one,
like, what is this?
but it looks really cool. It reminds me of like the 60s or 70s type of like
Apparently,
jerseys.
that's the new jerseys. Like last year, we had the city ones. Like I'm going to be debuting my Zach LaVine one here in the next episode, probably. But this year, they're kind of going with the retro look. And apparently, the Bulls are bringing back the red ones that have
with the cursive
Chicago on them up the side. Yeah, and I'm like, I need to get one of those.
Yeah, for sure. But I saw those jerseys. I'll have them down here. They look pretty cool. Yeah. And apparently, I only have two more things for the Lakers. Apparently, Kenneth Farid is going to be working out with us this week here.
Okay.
And we also have already worked out Darren Collison. So he's been at this facility again this week. So I don't know what that'll translate into, but he's still there. So working out, training, we'll see what happens. Probably end up signing one of them.
Nice.
But then as far as my Patriots, we all know
Patriots, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones lost week 1. Okay,
lost
his debut
too.
By 1 point to the team I hate the most. It is what it is. Like, I feel like I should be more upset by this than I am, but I'm so focused on like the rest of the league that like this doesn't sting as bad. And I know it's Mac Jones. He's a young guy. We're just trying to, get it together. We did spend a lot of money in the offseason, so I expect more than 16 points every week, to be honest with you.
Hey, what's up with this?
But early season. So like I said, we can rebound against the Jets next week. Bill Belichick just tears rookie quarterbacks apart. And Zach Wilson's nice, but I think we'll tear him apart.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, we had 4 total fumbles. That was probably the biggest detriment. We only lost 2, but still, to put the ball on the ground 4 times, nobody.
Bill Belichick ripping people's heads off in the meeting room right now.
You're not winning games like that,
Yeah.
And then N'Keal Harry is on the IR. The saga continues with this dude.
Continues.
He's on the IR now with a shoulder injury.
Good in training camp.
He sustained this injury in preseason against the Eagles, unfortunately. Yep. So he's out, shoulder injury. They didn't really say how long, but he's on IR. I think it'll be where he could come back in like 6 weeks. But he's on IR for now, so that's where we're sitting with them.
Damn.
But that's all I had there.
Okay. I have one quick Flyers thing here. Flyers announced today that full roster of players, coaches, and hockey operations staff are fully vaccinated and ready to go for the season here.
So they're good to go.
Coming up in October. So that's all systems go for that. The Bulls, no news really, other than that pretty much the whole starting core of the Bulls have been working out at the United Center and the gym here over the past week. So ahead of training camp, they're already trying to develop chemistry. They're actually practicing together. Like D Rosen's there, Caruso, Vucevic, Levine, they're all there balling out. Lonzo Ball's there. So, I mean, they're all just practicing, kind of get that chemistry and work in now before the training camp even starts, which is pretty cool.
Kind of like learn each other's styles, see what's going on, just meet each other, honestly.
Exactly, and that's really cool. Now to my Eagles. Talk about my boy Devontae Smith. I had to get a jersey. He balled, man. He had like 75 yards and a touchdown on his first NFL game.
I'm very happy because I drafted him. So he's on my bench right now, but I know I could put him in if I need to.
Yeah, what's really cool, I saw this today. Apparently, that same play and the same spot where he caught that touchdown was where he caught it in like the national championship. Like the same
Nice.
play type of shit where he went up there and caught it in that same exact spot.
Right.
Jalen Hurts balled out. Apparently, after that, in one day, his jersey sales increased 500%, and he's now the second highest jersey sale in the league.
Damn.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is now the second highest selling jersey in NFL, 500% increase in sales in one day after the game.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts era started out really good.
Starts now. Like this
Starts
dude is
now.
And what's even more exciting, man, is if he keeps up this play and he is that dude, we got 3 first-round picks to use next year.
Exactly.
We got
if Carson plays.
If Carson plays, well, even so, we'll have 2 at least. We'll have like 50 mil plus to use in cap space to work with because Carson shit will be off the books. Plus all the the cap will go up. So I mean, we're gonna have a lot of money to work with as well. So if it all goes as planned, we don't have to look for a QB. It's building time, and we're gonna be looking for some nice free agents.
And they'll be attracted if they see a young core.
Exactly.
To build around,
Exactly. As of today, apparently, because Fletcher Cox is the highest paid Eagle on the team, they converted 13 million of his money into a signing bonus, creating 11 mil in cap space. So it looks like the Eagles might be gearing up for something here. We might be making a trade, might be trying to sign somebody. But yeah, they're clearing up money for something here.
Even if it's for like next year or just for short up, like in case you need to sign somebody mid-season, like something like that.
Yeah. And the other things here is just kind of little stats. Highest graded QBs in week 1, Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, Jameis Winston.
Damn. Okay. Jalen Hurts up there with the big boys.
Eagles are the only defense so far in week 1 did not allow a single play of 20 plus yards. I think that kind of got broke yesterday. Last night probably with one of those plays. I think maybe the Carr one.
Okay.
But yeah,
gotcha.
the Eagles defense was balling out. They had 3 sacks in that game. Jalen Hurts, like we were talking about, 264 yards, 62 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 126 passer rating. Balled out.
He might end up getting rookie of the year if he continues doing this, and not Justin Fields, who's not playing.
I mean, he's not a rookie though.
Oh, that's right. I keep
he's
that's
second
why
year. I keep forgetting myself. I'm hoping Devontae Smith maybe go.
Well, if they gave Ben Simmons rookie of the year, they could give him rookie of the year. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
right. He sat out pretty much all year.
Come
on. Eagles had 32 points. Eagles didn't have a 30-plus point game a single time in 2020. We didn't score more than 30 points. Yeah, in the first game of the season, we get more than 30.
That's positive, man. That's
apparently the last one was in 2019 against the Giants.
Of course.
Devontae Smith is the first Eagle with his touchdown catch in his first NFL game since tight end Tony Stewart versus the Chiefs in 2001.
Tony Stewart played for the Eagles.
Apparently he did
before he was racing.
He played tight end.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know it's not Tony, but that's awesome. That's cool for Devontae.
My boy, left tackle Jordan Mailata out here got the bag, signed a 4-year, $64 million extension with the Eagles, up to $80 million, including $4 million guaranteed. I'm glad we got him locked down now before the end of the season. It would have cost us a lot more.
Yeah.
And he was out here bodying dudes in week 1, bro.
Definitely going to be worth it. That player is going to fulfill that. I mean, as long as he stays healthy, it was a great deal.
And he was out here bodying dudes. There was the play on the Jalen Reagor touchdown where he just completely leveled one of their safeties that was coming.
Mm-hmm. Boom. So I'm trying to teach Kai to do, man. Go out there and hit these players.
Jason Kelce made his 106 career start straight.
Damn. He's a center, right?
Yeah, center. And I mean, he's looking to retire here probably next year. So I mean, he's still 106 straight games. He's still playing, man. At this part of his career, it's crazy. And I don't know if you saw it. There's a highlight of Miles Sanders running, and there was a part where Jason Kelsey was in front of him, Miles Sanders was pushing him, and Jason Kelsey was like leveling dudes, and Miles Sanders was like behind him, kind of just pushing him out of the way, like keep going.
That's hilarious.
And the last thing I have here is just kind of Nick Sirianni talking a little bit. He said that he put up a division rival board with highlights of past games and fans going wild so that new players can understand how important the games are in the division.
Good. Build that culture.
Exactly. And Sirianni also said, if the coaching staff loves a certain play and Jalen Hurts doesn't like it, we're not going to run that play. So as we've already seen out of this game, the coaching staff are making plays designed to all these players' strengths. And it showed. I feel like Nick Sirianni gets the game of football better than Doug Peterson did and his coaching staff at this point. Like we're seeing like more intricate plays, more like well-designed plays that you weren't seeing last year at all. It just seemed like they were just like bomb the ball, try to run it for half the game, get checked downs or something. But like, I don't know. It's just something about it. Well, but like we were saying, long season ahead.
It's a whole different offense though, man. So
it is completely different. And the last thing, just kind of ended here with some shade. Howie Roseman went on WIP, and on Jalen Hurts, he said he can play and he can win. We're looking forward to seeing him lead the team this season. On asked if he would make the Hurts pick again, he said, we love Carson, but we played 4 playoff games and we needed our backup in every one. Like, dude, you didn't have to do that.
You didn't have to do that. You could have just left it at, we love Carson. I wish him the best.
Right.
You kept that to yourself or said it off camera or something like that. But
right.
Hey,
This is the facts. We made
put
the
it out
playoffs, and he wasn't there, like what we're supposed to do.
oh, man.
Like Howie Roseman proven that like you can't be trusted, and this dude's a little weasel. I'll trust him, but he's making moves, and the moves are working out surprisingly this year so far.
Keep it rolling.
So with that, we'll just kind of roll into the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast this week. Only 72 players in NBA history have attempted more free throws in their careers than 5,317 that Shaquille O'Neal missed.
So Shaq's missed more free throws than only 72 have even attempted?
Yeah.
That's
Only 72 players in the NBA history have attempted more free throws in their career.
Right.
Yeah, than 5,300 that Shaq missed.
That's because of Hack-a-Shaq and stuff like that. Like when they're like, we're just going to foul you because we know you're not going to make them. You know, like things like that. So not even holding the ball right. I mean, that's crazy, but that doesn't surprise me. But that is a crazy stat there.
That is the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. With that was a lot of news to cover, and we're gonna have a lot of more to talk about next week, I'm sure, covering week 2 that happened, and then of course our predictions for week 3. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. Check out all the other content on our channel. Make sure to follow at SquadPod Sports on Twitter. Help us get to 1K by 2023. Or 2022. My bad. What am I thinking? I'm thinking we're already in 2022. But yeah, by the end of the year, we're looking to get to 1,000 follows. So help us reach that goal. We're up to 800 as of right now. But yeah, until next week, we'll see everybody later.
One.
Peace.